What's crack-a-lackin'? It's your boy Broshmo, just in case you did not know. So we're back again. We're going to be doing the top 25 teams in college football heading into the 2020 season. I'm also going to give you some 5 teams on the outside looking in. But go ahead, become a bro and subscribe. Leave a thumbs up if you enjoy the video. It would mean a ton to me. It's always much appreciated and much obliged. This video is kind of buying me some time today. I'm kind of finishing up my research for my season previews for the NFL season, and then I'm gonna record some of those tomorrow, and then we're gonna get right into it Monday. Every day, all 32 teams. I'm gonna give you a season preview on that team, and then at the end of it, based on my projected stand-ins, I'm gonna do a mock draft because I freaking love mock drafts. So yeah, I guess without further ado, I want to kind of get into 3 teams that I didn't include in here and why. Memphis Tigers were one. My question is, can Brady White progress? Because he kind of had a down year last year opposed to the year before. So can he step back up? The Pittsburgh Panthers, a team, I love the defense. That defense has NFL talent written all over it, but the offense doesn't inspire much in me. I know one of the comments, by the way, I'll get to the comment section tonight. I've kind of been lax on that, just doing all this research. I've kind of gotten behind, but they asked my opinion on Kenny Pickett, and I don't think he's that good. I think he doesn't make a lot of big time throws. He should have had a lot more turnovers than, I believe it was, he had 9 picks last season than he did have. So I just don't feel good about their offense. Then I didn't include my Miami Hurricanes because I'm a Hurricanes fan. Do you? And put that up there. I just don't want to jinx them. I mean, I'm just so used to the Hurricanes. Oh yeah, they're coming out. They're gonna be real good this season, and then they just let you down. I've been feeling this since 2003. So I'm just saying, hey, I'm gonna temper my expectations. I hope they have a banger of a year, but the ACC looks very competitive this season. So let's go ahead. Let's get in with my 5 that are on the outside looking in, starting with Indiana. Michael Penix Jr., he's now the official starter. Peyton Ramsey is gone, so no 2 quarterback system anymore. This team was actually very good last season. They finished 8-5. 3 of their losses came by 9 points or less, so expect this team to be very competitive. I got Cal, the Golden Bears themselves. This is a bit of a projection on my part. I think the Pac-12, they're, aside from maybe 3 teams, it's really, I don't think they're really that good, but I expect big seasons from Chase Gabbers and Christopher Brown Jr. So again, this is a bit of a projection on my part, but I like Cal going into the season. Cincinnati Bearcats, I know they're coming off of a pretty good season, but Desmond Ridder, he isn't. If he can return to form, yes, this team will be in the top 25. Ahmad Gardner is one of my favorite corners in all of college football. I think he's a top 5 corner, so it hurt me not including this team, but it hinges on their quarterback. And then I got the Utah Utes. I just don't think they're going to be that good this season. I could be wrong. They lost so much in the draft. And then they're going from Tyler Huntley to Jake Bentley. Now, if this was a year ago, I would have been like, Jake Bentley, man, this guy, he could really make a name for himself. This guy could really perform well. He's got all the tools. I don't feel that way anymore. Jake Bentley does not inspire hope in me if I'm a Utah fan. And then the Hokies, just missing the cut here. One of the best secondaries in the country. And my question is, can Hendon Hooker at quarterback for them, will he be, now that he will be the starter, how will that look? He came in almost halfway through the season, and he performed very, very well. So I'm very excited to see how Vatek does. And then starting the top 25, I got the Texas A&M Aggies. It's still a very talented roster there. And Kellen Mond is a very, very now experienced starting quarterback. So I think this team has a very good chance to be very, very good. And then Appalachian State Mountaineers, they actually didn't lose much through the draft. I know they lost like Evans. They lost Davis Gaither, who was one of my favorite prospects last season. And but they still return a lot of talent, especially at corner. I love Sean Jolly. I included him in my 2-round mock draft. He is a very, very good corner. Then Boise State Broncos. I think they're in line to win the Mountain West once again. Hank Bachmeier, I think he will take a step forward from his freshman season. He looked pretty good in his freshman season, but now he's got a ton of weapons there with C.T. Thomas, Khalil Shakir, who I think is going to be a baller this season. He's among my top wide receivers for the 2021 class. And then the Louisville Cardinals, man. This offense is just scary. Like I said, the ACC, they look pretty good this year, and this team's offense just it should be frightening, especially how they played late down the stretch last season. I mean, with the combination of Cunningham at quarterback, you got Hall and Hawkins at running back, you got Atwell at wide receiver. It's just a scary team to try to stop. And then the Iowa State Cyclones, this may seem low. I don't think so, because I mean, Brock Purdy, he's done a very good job there. He's led them to back-to-back winning years, but it's only been, he won them to an 8-win season, or he led them to an 8-win season, and then last season a 7-win season. So it's not like they've been that impressive. I think they got pretty good talent this season, so I think they should do fairly well. On to 20, we're going to go over the Central Florida UCF themselves, the Golden Knights. This is a very good team. It's close. It's a very good team. Dylan Gabriel might be one of the better young quarterbacks in the nation, so I'm very excited to see them this year. Then I got the Michigan Wolverines. I almost thought about not including them in my top 25, but I mean, throughout the roster, they're a pretty solid team. It's just they underwhelm every year despite the solid core players they have. It's just kind of hard to instill some faith in me that Michigan will do well. And then we got the Auburn Tigers. Bo Nix, is he good? I don't think he was particularly that good last season. This team, especially on defense, especially on the offensive line, they lost a lot through the draft. So there's a lot of moving parts right now. Will they be able to rebuild? And then the Washington Huskies coming in here. I know offense, they lost a ton on offense. Hunter Bryant, they lost Aaron Fuller, they lost Jacob Eason. How can I forget that? But they have one of the best defenses in the Pac-12. So I think that could carry them this year. And like I said, in a Pac-12 that I think might have maybe 3 really, really good teams in it. And then I got, speaking of really, really good teams, this is one of the teams I think is going to do very well. The Trojans, the USC Trojans. They have one of the most talented rosters across all of college football. This really should be a coming out year for the Trojans. I'm just saying, Slavis at quarterback, he looks phenomenal. They bring back Tyler Vaughn. They bring back Mon-Ra, St. Brown. It's just a very, very good squad there. Okay. Just wanted to make sure. I wanted to make sure I got Mon-Ra's name right, because there's a lot of working parts in that name. But he's really, really good. The defense just looks stellar. This could be the year that they can compete. Texas Longhorns coming in here at 15. Only reason I really have them so high is Sam Ehlinger. I know people want to give me flack because I don't think he's a top 10 quarterback in the NFL draft coming up, in the 2021 draft. But he is definitely one of the best college quarterbacks in all of football. But I don't think the team really has a lot of talent around it. I mean, they have kind of stars here and there, like Caden Stearns. Will they be good? I think they'll be as good as Ehlinger can do. You know? He can only do so much to carry the roster. Oklahoma State, the Cowboys. This team, they're probably one of the darlings. They look really, really good. Just will Spencer Sanders be able to take a step forward? He was okay last season, but he's got Tylan Wallace return. It's just going to be, this team brings back a lot of firepower on the offense. And then the North Carolina, UNC, the Tar Heels. This is maybe a projection, but this is a team on the up and up. This is a team I really like, and it all starts with their quarterback, Sam Howell, who might be one of the best quarterbacks in the nation. Yeah, I'll say that. This guy, he could be a top pick in 2022. So we shouldn't sleep on him. The receiving core is pretty good, especially with Newsome. So there's a lot to like if you are a Tar Heels fan. This might be a year too early putting them so high, but I really buy it. Florida, the Gators, I got them coming here at 12. I like Kyle Trask. There's a lot to like about this team going into the season. Yes, they lost a few names last year, but Florida's been so good at replenishing their talent that I think they can do it again. I still like the secondary a ton there. So Florida State, I think they will be. I think they'll be very good. Will they be able to take the SEC East? I don't know. Penn State finishing here before the top 10. They're at 11. They have a very strong defense, one of the best defenses in the country. Offensively, though, we'll see. I don't know how Sean Clifford. He's been okay, but they're going to need a much more firepower from the offense, especially now with Hamler gone. So will they be able to take that step forward? So let's go ahead. Let's start with the top 10, and we're going to start with the Minnesota Golden Gophers, a team I'm very high on. I mean, that Tanner Morgan to Rashad Bateman connection is going to be scary. Tony Durr is one of the most underrated corners in all of college football. I like this team a lot. At 9, I got Notre Dame, the Fighting Irish. They returned some quality players here on the roster, and they have a pretty decent schedule. For the most part, they're only facing the ACC, which, like I said, they're on the up and up, but still they're the ACC. It's not like they're the Big Ten. It's not like they're the SEC. But they have USC. They have Wisconsin on the schedule, so they have a pretty decent schedule. Will Ian Bach, will he be able to take that step forward and lead this team? He's kind of been so-so. And then I got Wisconsin, the Badgers. They lost a few big names, Jonathan Taylor and such, but they do return a lot of quality players. They return most of their starters. So this is a team, I think they will be in that contention for the Big Ten. At number 7, I got the Oklahoma Sooners. Even without Hurts and CeeDee Lamb, this team is scary on offense. They've been able to rebuild, whether it was Baker Mayfield, Kyler Murray, Jalen Hurts. I think they'll be able to do it again. They still got some very good playmakers there on the outside. Their backfield is still bonkers, so still a lot to like about the Sooners. At number 6, I have your defending champion, the LSU Tigers. Can they recover? They lost so many players in the draft. Big question, who's going to replace Joe Burrows? We know it's going to be Miles Brennan. Will he be able to step up and do that? There's still a lot of talent on this roster, but I don't feel good putting them any higher than this, just given how much they lost. And then at number 5, I got the Oregon Ducks. Like I said, there's probably 3 teams I really like in the Pac-12, being the Ducks, being USC. If I had to put a third team in there, probably be Washington. Yeah, probably Washington. But like I said, I think the Pac-12, it's theirs for the taking. They want it, they'll take it, hands down. They have one of the most complete rosters in college football. Tyler Sowell, will he be the starting quarterback? There should be a competition there. There may be. But, I mean, it looks like he'll probably be the one they go with. Still, like I said, one of the best rosters. That offense isn't entirely dependent on the quarterback, so that might not be that big of a deal. And then number 4, I got the Georgia Bulldogs. They got Jamie Newman. I think they're the front runners for the SEC East. I don't care how good I feel about Florida. This team is the team to beat for the SEC East, so we'll see. We'll see how they do. And like I said, man, Jamie Newman, people sleeping on Jamie Newman. The guy ran an RPO system at Wake Forest, and they sleep on his arm. This guy has one of the best arms in the country. He was one of the most accurate deep ball throwers in the country. This ain't Jake Fromm you're bringing in here. Jamie Newman, he can make big time throws. And that ain't a slight at Jake Fromm. I'm just saying Jamie Newman's got a lot more potential. And then at number 3, the Alabama Crimson Tide. Of course they are. I'm sick of it. You're sick of it. But they still hold a lot of firepower. They're really good at retooling. Really doesn't matter who they have at quarterback. Is it going to be Mac Jones? Is it going to be maybe Bryce Hall? They have a few names that could actually start there at quarterback, but their wide receiver core still a banger. Najee Harris is still there in the backfield. The offensive line still looks really good. They're a good team. And then at number 2, I put the Ohio State Buckeyes. I like the Buckeyes. Y'all, if you're not new to the channel, you know how much I love Justin Fields. I think he's a phenomenal quarterback. I think they're hands down gonna win the Big Ten. But I don't think they'll have an easier road than the Clemson Tigers, which, spoiler alert, they're my number 1. And in a head-to-head, man, I just don't. It's really hard. For me, it's a 1A, 1B type of thing. The Ohio State Buckeyes, they slowly got edged out by the Clemson Tigers here at number 1. Trevor Lawrence, he's phenomenal. You'd be like, oh, he didn't play that well last year. It was the first 3 weeks of the season that he really didn't play well. After that, only Joe Burrow was a better quarterback in the country than Trevor Lawrence. Yes, he had a tough national championship game. Guess what? He had a national championship game. He got this team to the national championship. They still have a lot of playmakers on that offense. Travis Etienne, best running back in the country. The dude is a banger. The dude is a monster. Defense, yeah, they lost a lot of starters, but that defensive line still looks pretty good. So, and they still play in the ACC. I think they have an easy road to the playoffs. So we'll see. But let me know what you think in the comment section below. And that's it for the video. Go ahead, do the YouTube thing. It's always much appreciated, much obliged. But till next time, you be easy, my friends. Later.